Greetings and welcome to One Spherical Love, Spirituality in a Modern World. Now, I always say, you've just stepped into my classroom, so you will then also have a writing utensil and something to write on. Basically, don't use electronics. The ions and whatnot get in the way of the energy of what you are trying to accomplish in life. So put the computer away, get your pencil or your pen and a piece of paper because you've just stepped into my classroom. I am Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIV, certified Reiki practitioner, certified master life coach, metaphysician, non-drug practitioner, alternative doctor, veteran, cancer survivor of 3 different cancers. And the list goes on and on. 25 years of college, 16 certificates and diplomas, 6 college degrees, 2 doctor degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd doctor degree. So yes, I'm extremely busy. I'm working on 5 businesses at the same time. I'm getting over, lucky me, cancer treatments, so you get side effects for up to 20 years. Yay, my esophagus is falling apart, and I have lymphedema because of the radiation and cancer treatments you receive. So, with that said, the inflammation then builds up my lymph nodes, and that's called lymphedema. Now, I was born in a Wiccan family. That means Wiccan is a religion. Now, as with all religions, this one is different because it is a natural religion. This is one of the gifts from God. Now, I'm an ordained reverend of divine energies. So if I am a reverend, it's the same thing as a priest, a preacher, a minister. That really means I believe in God more than most people. I mean, dude, that's just logic right there. Hello, wake up. Now, some people say to me, do you believe in God? Well, what the freak did I just tell you? I'm an ordained reverend. Hello? What planet do you live on? Okay, now, born into a Wiccan family, you learn all about the esoterics. Now, I got my first tarot deck when I was 12 years old. That means that esoteric's been part of my life from day one of get-go. Now, these are just tools of the trade. Your runes are tools of the trade. Your crystals are tools of the trade. Every trade has a tool. A doctor, a medical doctor, you've got tools of the trade. Stethoscope and all that jazz. You're a journeyman. You put in the big old lights on the poles that give people electricity. You are a journeyman. What is your trade? You will have tools of the trade, which is the fiber optics, the wires, all that jazz. Every trade has a tool. Now, in esoteric, these are part of the tools. Part of the tools is knowledge. Knowledge comes from 5D, 5th dimension. Your education, secular education, from government education is 3D, 3rd dimension, which is the human brain. All right, moving on. Now, I worked last Sunday so that I could get today off, the day before Thanksgiving. And everything is so happening today. It's just amazing that the forces are so at work today. Now, when you understand a force of something happening constantly, it is just a wake-up call that the spirit realm is trying to communicate with you. Yet, on the other hand, you choose to ignore it and just keep doing your own thing. Guess what? The spirit realm just keeps knocking harder and harder and harder. Slam! Something happens. You're like, freak, and you start getting mad. And well, if you would have listened to your spirit realm in the first place, you wouldn't be getting mad because you could take care of your business. All right, now, pay attention. What is your business? Your business is your purpose. What is your purpose? Why you are here to go from life path to soul path. Easy peasy, from brain to mind. 3D to 5D. And in between, you got that portal called 4D. That's called logic. There's no rocket science about it. It's logic. Now, in Esoteric, 5 years old, they're all having a seance and all that jazz. Yeah, I know about the spirit realm and ghosts and demons and goblins and all that. Okay, now, 5-year-old, and my first spirit guide came to me. It was an elderly Indian man. Now, he had one feather. That means all my life I'm receiving feathers, because this is the metaphors and symbologies of the path that I'm on, that I'm supposed to learn about these things. Now, as I go along, I'm a landscaper, so you get all the goodies outside that people leave behind, animals leave behind, and so on and so forth. You get all the little goodies. I pick up the feathers, I wash them in soap and water, and then I have them so when I'm ready to make my bookmarkers, I can do this. So we got the different colors, and the different colors have an indication just like everything else. Color has a vibration. Look at the color spectrum. The vibration is a particular number. That vibration is regulating off of the feather. Now, here we have all black. This is evil. Typically, when a person is walking by or coming towards me, these feathers magically appeared so that my spirit guide is telling me, hey, you know what? Heads up, so-and-so is coming. Now, when I get these, like I said, I wash them in soap and water, and then I stack them inside the little deal here. This little deal is you cut them these squares. This is like styrofoam. These squares, big old square, is that florists use, so they put it in the bottom of the plants, fill it up with water, so it holds the water so that the plants will survive like a week when you buy pretty plants for someone you love. That's the way these styrofoam things work. So I put them into my little deal here because you don't want the tips of the feathers drying out, because then they crack. So you put it in that particular type of styrofoam, and it keeps the moisture in there enough so that it can dry out naturally. Remember, these are all natural items. These are God's gifts, and you have to know how to utilize them to the best of your ability to become who it is you are meant to become. Now, we got all black. That means that this person is actually very negative, lives in a very negative world, simply because they feel like the world is against them, and they got the short end of the stick, like when you put a few sticks together and somebody has to draw a stick out, and they're the one that gets to volunteer, the short one. They have to volunteer to do this task where everybody else gets to go and watch. You know how people are. They always have their little games. So that's what that is. Somebody's negative. And then here we have the same variety. And some of these are not easy to pick up. Anyways, see how it's like it's black, but it is not as fully black. That means that they have, and it's a young person. That's an older person. This big old black one, it's an older person. It's just like reading tarot cards, okay? Now, you've stepped into my classroom. This is called the Secret Schools, okay? Metaphysical Healing Art. This is what we're doing here today. Now, and it is through the 4 quadrants of nutrition. The nutrition you put in your mind, nutrition you put in your body, nutrition you put in your emotion, nutrition you put in your spirit. Create the core being. The core is the soul. And the soul is the teacher to the spirit that is the student. The spirit is the teacher to the human that is the student. We are all spiritual beings having an adventure in a human experience. Pretty simple, cut and dry, to the point. Now, the black is someone that's older, negative, because they're had a crappy life according to them. Okay. And then you got one here. It's a little, not a baby, but I would say a little older than a teenager. And they're collecting, somebody's in their 20s. They're collecting negative energy. Now remember, when things happen in life, you see the emotion. You see what's going on. Well, guess what? You're an empath, and you're collecting that energy, and you're saying, it's mine. I own this. Whatever emotional state of being they're in, I'm now becoming the same thing. That is an empath. You physically and mentally feel those emotions that are generating through the portals of that person, place, or thing. The aura is the emotion. The chakras are the portals. And that's what you're sending out into the world. Now, here is someone that's a little older. And here you have a little white and a little black. That means that they have a little negative. Now, this is someone that's older. That is younger, and then maybe their 20s. Here you got someone that's about in their 40s, okay? So they're carrying some negative, but they're still trying to stay positive in life. And here we got a youngster. This one is next to a white, okay? Has a little tiny gray on it because it's not actually black. It's a little tiny gray. And of course, I clean them more after, more before I do the, bookmarkers. Yeah, so anyways, that's that. And then you got this one. And this guy is actually all messed up. 1 minute they're happy, 1 minute they're sad. So you could just put this in the category of narcissistic, OCD, all that good jazz, those acronyms that humans decide that they needed to come up with to explain a human emotion. You're hilarious. Just call it what it is. Hey, they're having a human emotion. Oh, it's just a Mr. Pain in the butt. Let's give them some drugs to calm that down. Please, what's wrong with you people? My goodness. Now, yesterday in the morning, it's amazing stuff. Yesterday in the morning, as I'm working on my book, because I'm working on 5 businesses and I'm working on my 3rd book, it's almost done. I just have to change the all cap certain areas into cap of the first letter of that particular word. So I'm changing the format pretty much. So as I'm doing it, some of the things that pop up, I'm working on the, when you understand the megahertz and the BPMs, you understand the rhythmic rhythms of vibrational vibration that's within music. And music is a vibration. You want to know the vibration. But that vibration is not really that pretty to you because people that listen to rock and roll, it's a vibration over number 4. So everything has a vibration. And that vibration might be kosher with you and kosher is balance. And you decide that, no, it's not kosher, it's not pretty, it's not my flavor. Yes, everything is flavored. I like this, I don't like that. Well, you prefer this flavor over that flavor. Okay? It's like no big whoop. Change your wordage. Change your logic, and life just keeps happening in the flow it should be going. Hey. Okay. Okay, life is fun. Now, yesterday as I'm going through this, I'm doing this segment on music, okay? So as I'm looking at it, it's regeneration of neoplasia. Now, regeneration is rebuilding and redoing. And then neoplasia is not. You cannot regenerate cancer. Neoplasia, cancer. You cannot regenerate it. It will then take on a whole new life form. That's the way cancer is. And simply is because you're having a different emotion. That's how you create cancers, illness, sickness, disease. Yeah, okay. So I am a one-stop shop in healing. mind, body, emotion, spirit, because I cleanse them every 24 hours. That's life, and that's the way it is. Now, with that said, as I'm looking through, and once again, I'm constantly researching, because you remember, Geminis play mental gymnastics. We're doing this and this while we're physically doing that and that. It's two different worlds. And if you knew actually how the brain works in a Gemini, you have the left hemisphere of the human brain. You have the right hemisphere of the human brain. And when you understand feng shui, the left side is rainbow. The right side is gray, white, black. It is mental. And Gemini is air element. So metal is the mineral. Mental is the element of the air. When you look at the 5 elements, air, earth, fire, water, wood. Okay? Now, moving on. Now, when you look at, I am a starseed, and actually I'm beyond starseed. Starseed comes from the planet Andromedas. Now, as I'm researching this, always researching, what can I upgrade in my skills? Because your skills are your natural ability, what you were born with. Okay, so as I'm going through, a starseed is simply an empath. That means that you're soaking up someone else's emotions, thoughts, a whole five elements of a human being. Smell, taste, hear, touch, see. 5 elements in your human 5 senses. Okay. Yes, we do robot. Okay, now, in Native American, you have Heiko. H-E-Y-O-K-O. O-K-A is a shaman. They are the top dog, top notch healers. Shaman, shawwoman. Now, they have the natural ability to help heal physically and emotionally. Hello, that's what I do. And they do it through humor. Hello, that's what I do. That's what I was saying, that after 50, you just, 20s, 30s, 40s, you're serious as nobody's business about life. Then you get in your 50s, it's like, you don't care anymore. After my late 50s, dude, it's finding the heart smiles that give you the belly laughs. Okay, so today is just really going about its own business, and everything that's happening, that could happen, is happening. Now, when it's constantly happening, it just simply means that the spirit realm is trying to communicate with you. And as it's trying to communicate with you, you just have to pay attention that what is going on? You are just unaware because you're all up in your ego doing your own thing. Because you have the id, the ego, the superego, okay? That's the Freudian theory. Now, ego is the middleman, and this is you right now. This is present. The id is the lower self, the primordial body of being. That is your past. That is what you cover up in shadow work and so on and so forth. The superego is then going into a higher realm state of being. That is where you're switching from the left hemisphere of the brain, which is language of the gods, to the right hemisphere of the brain, which is man-made concepts. All right? There's a whole shenanigan bull about theories when I can then prove it and disprove it wrong. At a whole nother ball game, baby cakes. Now, my advisor in college looked at my paper that I'm writing for my PhD or master's or whatever. She said, you have a beautiful mind. It's a few millennial and beyond most human beings, and a millennial is 1,000 years. Somebody else over the years told me, you teach like Jesus Christ do. And so many of these things that just keep popping up again and again and again and again. It's like, okay, now I know I am. And like I tell everybody, you got to find the heart smiles. Now, as I'm doing my deal, I'm doing my laundry and cooking and all this jazz, it's like I'm busy. Things just keep popping up. So I finally look up at the sky and I'm like, seriously? Just stop. Just stop right now. I want everything to start running more smooth because you're just creating too much chaos. Stop it right now. I need to just get through my day because I'm still back to waiting to get the moments, because they wake up at 3, between 1 and 3 a.m. every single day, because you got to work on your business 2 hours before your job, or you work after your job. I'm totally exhausted. I don't have that kind of energy. I want to come home from work and sit on my butt for 4 hours, just enjoy my evening. So I do my work in the morning. So this morning, I'm like sitting here, like, are you kidding me? When is this day gonna stop giving me a hard time? Now, remember, Heoka, shaman, shaw woman. Now as I'm doing this, whatever I'm doing, and then I look down, and you've got to be kidding me. I got back at the animal, what do you call it? Wild animal park. So in the gift shop, they had this bird. So I go in and get the bird. It's styrofoam. It's cute. So the bird, I got a little ladder. I'd love to get a little bird bath for it, but I don't know if you could see it. But anyways, this little sticker, it's a mustache, was on my shirt. Like, who knows where this came from? So isn't that super cool? So this is Henry. Okay. Henry is a very popular bird. Now, I tell my driver one day, because it's like after cancer treatments, dude, you ain't going to be traveling on the freeway an hour to the cancer hospital and an hour back home every time you got to go to the hospital. Oh, are you kidding me? You might pass out because you're exhausted. Your vision could go. You're getting side effects for 20 years. Anything could happen. Esophagus is falling apart. I start choking on air, literally gets stuck in my throat, my tissues. So if I swallow my tissues, guess what? It goes into my lungs and I get, what do you call it? Anyways, there's some kind of disease. You can die from tissues in your lungs, whatever that's called, I forget. Too much information. So then you die and you have a heart attack. Yay, lucky me, right? So anyways, moving on. Henry, I tell my driver, I said that, there's this guy I was looking at the bank that I was thinking about asking him out on a coffee date. Okay. So she's like, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, well, what should I say, It's like, so I had to think about it for a while. Lo and behold, the next day I get a phone text on my phone. It says, hello, Henry. This is Delilah. Are we still going out for a coffee date? Literally, I'm not lying. I sent that to my mom. So she's like, ooh, her face is probably priceless. I love watching people's faces. And the same. I took a screenshot and I sent it to my driver. And I said, Henry's getting more action than I am. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, this thing right here is the kind of like a rosary beads. It hangs around your wrist. And my mom and my aunt and my uncle grew up in a, what do you call it, where the preachers and nuns and all that jazz, boarding school. They grew up there. So she gave me her rosary beads one day. So Henry has a necklace of these pretty pearl rosary beads and a mustache. His kosher motif is lifestyle. His lifestyle is growing because he's a happening dude, okay? So oh, life is too hilarious. Okay. Now, we covered the feathers. We covered Henry. Now, It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I've been wanting, I love tuna fish sandwiches on croissants. So I finally went and got the croissant at the store today, and I'll be baking that a little later. Now, whatever I eat, it's got to have at least like 20 ingredients in each meal, if not 50, because I want to pack power to the punch. So this is tuna sandwich, and considering my esophagus is falling apart, I still can't eat potatoes, I can't eat bread, I can eat flour tortillas, I can't eat corn. So there's certain things, it's been 2 years that I still can't swallow, or it gets stuck in my throat. And then, pneumonia. Yeah, you swallow your tissues and it goes in your lung, and you can get pneumonia, and over 500,000 people per year die of pneumonia. Yay, lucky me. Lucky me. So why would you do that? So you learn how to regurgitate your food. Now, this is a tuna sandwich. I take very small bites. I do a lot of chewing, and you're supposed to chew, like you bite like 20 times before you swallow anyways. I mean, that's just a given. I mean, when you know about health, you would automatically know that you must always do a lot of chewing to work that food before it goes down your esophagus into your gut that has the acids to formulate where those particles need to go inside your body. Your neurons, protons, and all that jazz. So anyways, this is tuna, open-faced tuna sandwich. Now the bread I got at the farmer's market or whatever, Sprouts, whatever one of them stores are. Health stores. Okay, so we got plant-based mayo, spirulina, and that's why it's green. Glucosamine and chondroitin, that's why it's green. Spirulina is just basically seaweed, and this is powder form. Glucosamine and chondroitin basically is cartilage from sea life, which is WD-40 for your joints. So as you get older, you have less aches and pains. And then there's lion's mane, sodium bicarbonate, because you never put salt and pepper. I'm like allergic to pepper now after cancer, so I don't do pepper. I do sodium bicarbonate. So basically you can get it crystallized like salt, or you can get it in powder form, and it's basically baking soda. It regulates the pH in your food so that it's more kosher for your food nutrition for your body. And then I took the grapes and I sun-dried them, because I dry out all my fruits and vegetables. Grapes, sun-dry it, became raisins, so it's natural. And then it's dry coconut, and pretty much you mix it up, and then you put plant-based cheese on top. And of course, open face, you gotta use unless you like finger foods, which I do, you're gonna use a knife and fork and all that. Okay, so that's what I'm eating here in a few minutes. So then, like I say, it's more about when you pray, you are talking to God. When you meditate, you communicate with God. You want to meditate so you can communicate with the spirit realm. And that's what I do each and every day. And this morning I didn't do my affirmation. Included in my affirmation is the protection spell. So I'll be doing that in a little bit, and then all these increments that keep happening today will then stop, because the spirit realm seriously wants my undivided attention, because when things keep happening, it's like a child. And when you're a mom, like, dude, seriously, you could tell your kid something so many times, and until eventually it gets on your nerves because your patience is getting shorter because they don't listen. Stop with the shenanigan games and just do what your mama tells you. And life becomes good again. And the front of my forehead is now, my hair is standing up and it's itching. And because it's the spirit realm talking to me in the front of my head, which is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe of the human brain is the practical, down to earth, common sense. Then you go to the 4D, fourth dimension, in between 3D and 5D, and then the 5D, fifth dimension is knowledge. So in between is the portal called 4D, which is called logic. So right now the spirit realm is talking to me and always has. My auras come out like violet. And yeah, I've had different auras over the years. Violet is the spirit realm. So constantly, the spirit realm is talking to you. You don't listen. So then what is your spirit supposed to do? Your spirit then communicates to my spirit, which then communicates to me, because I'm like the conduit, the middle person of the conversation. Yay, lucky me. Did I elect myself? No, these are one of my birth skills I was born with. I was born with many of God's gifts. So your spirit realm talks to mine, that tells me to tell you what you need to know. And that's how it works. It has to do a roundabout, just like you're in the middle of infinity. Infinity is 0. That is you. And then what happens is it goes around like a pretty butterfly. Yay. So the information goes around, has a pit stop for whoever can actually communicate to you. You see, that's how that works. And then you would listen. All right, now, what I do is different types of talking to the spirit realm. Now, I'm calling upon, and not everyone can do this unless you're a professional. I'm a professional HEB, highly enlightened being. Now, as I call upon the spirit realm to help guide me through these moments in time, when the answer is yes, the pendulum swings this way. When the answer is no, the pendulum swings this way. So we have longitude, latitude, spirit realm. You know, horizontal, vertical, all that good jazz. It's a mathematical equation. It's actually quite beautiful when you understand the symbologies and metaphors through the vibration. You don't like the vibration, you change the frequency. It's like changing the channel, TV station, radio station, so on and so forth that come from the airwaves. You change the frequency. How do you do this? You change your mood. Pretty simple. Now, as I call upon the spirit realm to help guide me through these moments, to bring me what it is that I need to know to relay the information to the humans that are not listening. Now, is my spirit guides here with me today? Yes or no? And the answer is yes. Does the spirit realm have something in particular that they want to share with the world? Yes or no? So it's going into a maybe. Wow. So that's a maybe. Alright. Is this particular information that you want me to share with the world one person in particular that needs this information to help guide them? Is there one person? And the answer is yes. Are there many people that find that they forget their own power of who they are, and you're there to guide them? Have they forgotten who they are? Yes. Am I here to help guide them on their path from life path to soul path? Is this the reason of my existence, that God blessed me with this? Is why he or she brought me back 3 times after cancer to help guide humans from the spirit realm into their correct path in this life. And this is why I am here, to help guide them. And the answer is yes. Thank you, spirit guides. And that is enough for today. It's time to go eat because I'm starving. Okay. Remember, belly laughs are the best thing. When you get that laugh and it makes you want to cry, it's the insurmountable, priceless moments in life. And there's just something like, dude, really? It was just hanging out on my head. Seriously? The spirit realm is seriously talking to me big time. Holy smokes. Like all my hairs are standing up on the right side. Absolutely amazing. Alright. And life is love. Love is life. Blessings from Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIV, PhD. And thank you for your support. You like my YouTube? You like my sermon? Because that's what you got today. And I hope you took good notes. And as I always say, when things are going bad, you just look out into the world and say, may the force be with you. Like Star Wars, right? Oh my goodness.